Hi guys, so today we're going to do something a little bit different, and it's actually a DIY tutorial in how to turn a old t-shirt into a pillow. Sometimes you might have a t-shirt that you really love but you don't use it anymore and you wish you could just stick with it, whether it's because of the print or for sentimental reasons. So yeah, I'm gonna show you how to turn a normal t-shirt that you don't want to throw away but you don't use anymore into a lovely pillow which you can use for decoration and for putting your head in. So here we go. So here's all the things you're going to need to turn your t-shirt to a pillow. First, you'll need the t-shirt that you want to save, some bobby pins. You'll also need some scissors to cut the excess fabric, something to fill your pillow with. I had some styrofoam lying around the house, so I decided to use just that. But if you had other things like foam or even stuffed animal stuff, normal stuffing, or whatever it's called, you can use just that. You can even use cotton if it's a small pillow, or some excess fabric that you might have lying around the house. I just used styrofoam because I have a huge bag of it, so it's better than buying something else. And some needle and thread so you can close the hole that we're gonna leave at the end of this tutorial. You'll see about that later. I do recommend that you do this project with a sewing machine. If you don't have one, you can try to sew by hand, but it will be a lot faster and easier if you use a sewing machine. So the first thing you're going to do is decide which size you want the pillow to be. I'm going to try to save as much as I can of my old t-shirts, and I want to use all the caps that I have here. So I'm going to pin maybe through here, like so, to get as much fabric as I can. This can get in the way though, the sleeves can get in the way, so be careful with them. And yeah, I think I'm gonna do something like this and then down. So then you're gonna turn your t-shirt inside out, like so, and trying to lay it on the table as flat as you can. And it really helps if you have a print that kind of shows through to the other side, so you can know exactly where to put the pins in. So then now you're gonna put the bobby pins on the places that you wanna. If you're new to sewing, I recommend you to put as much bobby pins as you like, but I don't really need that many, so I'm just gonna put 4. But if you have trouble in keeping straight lines on a machine or at hand, I do recommend that you put as much bobby pins as you might need. So then you're going to repeat this process all over the t-shirt. When you're dealing with the back section, leave like 4 fingers in the middle. That will be the gap in which you will put the stuffing in. So try to leave at least 4 fingers. I tried with 3 fingers and it was way too tight, and it was a pain in the refrigerator to try and put all the stuffing in. I'm sorry if the camera kind of jiggles a bit, because the camera is actually attached to the table, so every time I move the table it kind of jiggles a bit, so that's something you'll have to deal with. Sorry. So see how I left the gap here? When you're gonna sew, you're gonna leave this gap unsewn so you can put the stuffing in, but we'll talk about that later. The print ends here, so I'm gonna put this one here. Try to always leave a little bit on the sides with the prints, so that when you turn it inside out, you can still have a little bit of fabric on both sides and it doesn't look, you know, like it's too stretched out, you know what I mean. You can always go back and adjust. You know, you can adjust like 10 times. Better to adjust a lot of times before you actually sew than to sew and figure out, oh, I should have adjusted it, because it's not great like this. So this is what I'm going to save up from the print, from the t-shirt, and just putting this one on here, and now we're going to sew. So now you take your sewing machine, and it really doesn't matter which color of thread you choose, because this is going to be on the inside out. in the inside and it's not really going to show. So I choose black and white because those are the ones that were in a sewing machine. I'm not really sure why, but it's okay. So you start by doing a back stitch to close. So you're gonna start by doing a close stitch, like so, and then you just wanna sew all over the t-shirt until you reach the back side. When you reach a corner, you can just put the needle down, put the foot up, turn the t-shirt to the side, put the foot down, and keep sewing. Leave the 4 fingers on the middle so you can put the stuffing in, or else you're gonna have a really bad time trying to put everything inside. Back stitch here, turn the needle up, and what I like to do is just pull the t-shirt, the fabric, make sure you're leaving enough space, and then putting the foot down again. It's better to leave more space than little, you'll see why later. And just keep stitching. And with the back stitch, take it off. Doesn't want to come. And then cut the fabric and cut the excess threads that you might have on the t-shirt. Don't forget to cut these ones as well, because they'll get in the way later if you don't cut them. So this is your t-shirt. Now what you're going to do is actually cut all the excess fabric that you have on the sides and on the upper and bottom part of the t-shirt. Now after you cut all the excess fabric, you should have something like this. And now you can skip this step, but I do recommend that you stitch the borders of the fabric so it doesn't really thin out or make holes and stuff, and you know, just give it a more secure. So now that you have your edges finished, you can cut the corners if you like, because this will only get in the way when turning the t-shirt inside out. There we go. And now turn the t-shirt inside out, obviously. And this is what you're left to. And this is what you're left with. Kinda cute, right? So now you're gonna put the stuffing inside through the hole that you left in the bottom side. I'm actually gonna do this off camera because it's quite a messy process, so you will see you in a bit. A quick tip to pouring the stuffing inside the t-shirt is to put your fingers inside, try to open the hole, and pour it in like so it doesn't fall everywhere. And we're back, and you should have something like this. See, all fluffy. Be careful because this part is still open, but isn't it so fluffy? So now you're left with closing the gap. Just grab a needle and a thread and close it with a closing stitch. My preferred method of closing it is actually just doing loops around the bottom, like so. And I actually tilt the needle to one got cat in here. I actually tilt the needle to one side to do diagonal lines, and I do this all until I get to the closing. And I do this, the tilting method, until I get the other end of the opening. And I noticed here that I took way too much thread. This is way too much. I'm not gonna need all of this, but it's okay. When you reach the end of the opening, I actually like to do a loop here. And since I made the threads go to one side, now I'm going back and doing the threads the other side. So we get kind of a cross stitching going on the bottom, and it will make it more secure and more, well, secure, to make sure that the stuffing doesn't come out. So just do the reverse order that you did before, tilting the needle to the other side. See, we got this nice cross stitch going on here, and this will allow the stuffing to stay inside and not fall off, which would make a huge mess. So there you go. Now you just close the stitch to make sure that the thread doesn't start getting too loose and going all over the place. Like that. Ta-da! There you have it! It's quite messy, isn't it? This method, it's quite bulky and it kind of shows a bit. I know there are a lot of better ways of closing stitching, but I kind of prefer this one because it's simple and fast and easy, and well, it's just decorative and no one's gonna really be looking at it anyways, but yeah, so fluffy! This was my tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm really happy that I can reuse my old t-shirts into something that I can use, even if it's just for decoration, and it was something a little bit different. I don't know, this is not something that I usually do on my channel, so I really love some feedback from you guys if you liked it, if you didn't. As always, if you're not already, please subscribe, let's be friends, put a like on it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!